The Riddle of the Earth, Chapter 1, The Atlantic Hurricane of August 1924. The summer months of 1924 were marked by a continuity of severe thunderstorms, usually brief, but accompanied by thunderbolts, and heavily charged with electricity and cloudbursts. There were also reported a number of earthquakes in Britain, notably in Derbyshire on the west coast of Scotland. And on the west coast of Scotland, I should say. I was just thinking about that there. Derbyshire is nowhere near Scotland, but anyway. August was on its worst behaviour throughout. In that month, an earthquake was reported in Turkestan, followed by vast rain, causing enormous floods over a great area, and the end of the month synchronised with an Atlantic hurricane between 20 degrees and 60 degrees longitude west of Greenwich. This hurricane was connected with a considerable earthquake shock along the west coast of Iceland, accompanied by a tidal wave. The tidal wave struck the Arabic in mid-ocean in three gigantic waves and almost carried the liner of 16,786 tons on her beam ends. She took 3 minutes before righting. The force of the gale also struck the Leeward Islands, resulting in much loss of life and considerable damage to property. In Montessart, many were killed and injured. Valuable machinery and buildings were wrecked, and all crops destroyed. In Tortola, Nevis, Antigua, and St. Kitts, casualties and damage were heavy, and many sailing ships were wrecked or reported missing. The explanation of this storm, according to the officials of the Weather Bureau at Washington, was that the cyclone followed unusually hot weather and created a large vacuum. But why should hot weather create a vacuum? An anticyclone is not an abnormal condition and does not create a vacuum. For if this were so, why are not the tropics continually devastated by tremendous storms created by these vacuums? The abnormal condition is the cyclone. A tropical revolving storm, in quotes, was a further explanation offered of this occurrence, which excited great interest in New York, as one after another great liners came limping into dock, their decks littered with debris.